guess we had to get to this movie sooner or later, as we're counting down the Batman v Superman. We're gonna be reviewing Batman and Robin. Oh boy. Here comes the here comes the snow puns and the winter puns and the ridiculous, more ridiculous, over the top, like villains, and the more ridiculous, over the top scenery of Gotham City. And this is literally Broadway at the, and to the at a massive level. I mean, not only does it feel like a toy commercial, it feels like they're doing it like it's like Batman on Ice, like where they're skating around fighting bad guys, and it's like it's like a fucking musical, just like like on a much, it's like they really cranked up the Broadway dial in this movie. And oh my gosh. And it's a good thing George Clooney made he constantly makes fun of himself for being in his movie. But I mean, I give him credit for being self-aware that he made a pretty big mistake, probably the biggest mistake in his career, as far as I know. And oh gosh, it's like you can tell it's like they didn't care anymore. It's like they're taking the whole angry parents at Tim Burton's angry parents about Batman Returns. It's like they're taking it way too seriously, and they're thinking way too much about it. It's like they're just trying too damn hard to keep parents from being angry at them for what they put in these movies. And that is like that's like a big downfall for the franchise, and it fell down flat. And not to mention when they have Bane in there, I mean, he's like, I don't know. He makes Bizarro sound more intelligent the way he's portrayed in this movie. And when he goes up against Batman, Batman just kicked his ass like he's nothing. I'm like, what? In their first encounter, I mean, like, he just knocks Bane out like he's nobody. Like, oh my gosh, like, what the fuck? And when I heard Arnold Schwarzenegger was cast as Mr. Freeze, I'm like, isn't he a little too bulky for the role? I mean, but he was he was slimmed down at the time before he, like years before he bulked back up again. But oh man, I mean, you can tell he had a lot of fun doing that movie, and while everyone else was just doing their parts. And the way when they geared up in the opening scene, I mean, like, was it really necessary to show ass cheek shots? I mean, like, did we have to look at their asses when they're putting their suits on? Like, what the fuck? I mean, it's bad enough you got nipples on there, and of course they didn't put nipples on the Batgirl suit. And it's like, no, I mean, like, that would just be like like harassment to women if we put nipples on this suit. But it's ridiculous how I guess the computer in the Batcave was self-aware that Barbara would break into the Batcave. It's like, okay, we know you were gonna, I mean, I was pretty prepared for your nosy ass to jump in there and interfere, and find the Batcave. So I made the suit all ready for you. So suit up. What? Oh my gosh. And at the time when this movie came out, I mean, I thought Poison Ivy was pretty good. I mean, I think Uma Thurman did a pretty good job as Poison Ivy. It's like she was I mean, attractive and dangerous, which is what Poison Ivy ought to be. And I don't have very much to say, anything positive to say about this movie. It's just it's the downfall of the franchise, and right before Warner Brothers decides to redeem itself with the Dark Knight trilogy. But man, That has to be one of the worst movies of 1997. I don't know. I mean, like, this may be worse than Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Some may say that movie's worse than this, but before, people were mad about Fantastic Four, and probably, you know, how people are going to be pissed off with the Ghostbusters reboot. This is in that same category. You know, this is a huge, huge letdown. And I'd say this movie gets 1 minus chair spin. Whoop. There. That's it. Out of 5 chair spins. Oh my gosh. I mean, this was like. I mean, I can, you know, I'm just gonna keep repeating myself of how much of a clusterfuck it is. I mean, I don't see how anybody can watch this movie and say it's great. But I mean, I'm sure some people do think it's great. And some friends years back when we were talking about incarnations, which Batman movies we thought were great, and then one guy really stood up. He defended this movie, and I wanted to slap him back, you know, bitch slap him back on the couch. Like, take a seat, dude. Like, shut the fuck up. But I bit my tongue because, hey, you know, every great movie has its haters, and every shitty movie has its lovers too, right? So I tried to accept that. So leave your comments down below. Let me know which movie you thought was the worst of the franchise. Was this Batman Forever or Batman and Robin? If you enjoyed my review of this clusterfuck, thumb up the video, and then make sure you click subscribe if you're new to the channel. And we'll be on our way to reviewing the Dark Knight trilogy. I'm looking forward to that. And that is definitely Batman's redemption. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.